everybody and happy Friday. I'm so glad to have you with me. As all 6th class girls know, I am a huge fan of yoga. I've been practicing since I was in my early teens with my mother, and it's become such a big part of my life, and it's brought me such calmness and happiness, and it's just wonderful to get to practice with any of you who are at home as well. I hope it starts your weekend off to the right footing. And just a quick note that if any pose doesn't feel good, or you're feeling a bit tired, you don't feel like joining in, you can always drop down into child's pose, and I'll show you in a little moment what child's pose looks like. And also, if any of you at home are new to yoga, yoga is not about competitive stretching, it's not gymnastics, it's not about being the most flexible person. It doesn't make you a better person just because you can touch your toes. It's really just about moving with your breath, feeling good in your body, and getting into that sense of flow where the movement just almost feels like a dance, and it feels like a form of expression, and it's just really about feeling connected to your body and your breath. So we're going to start today with a little bit of breathing, and then we'll go into the movement part of the yoga, and it's going to be about 40 minutes long. So I know some of you are really cramped at home. You mightn't have much space, you mightn't have a yoga mat, and that's totally fine as well if you want to put even just a beach towel down. If you can go somewhere that's a little bit quieter in the flat or at home where you won't be disturbed, that's probably a good idea too. And if there's anything you want to bring along, like a blanket for the end or some comfy socks, or I always have my essential oil with me. I have ylang ylang here. Totally don't need that either. Just if you have anything that makes you feel more comfortable, then grab it and have. And then whenever you're ready, we're going to come into seated position. So you can sit cross-legged like me. If that's sore on your joints or your knees or anything, you can sit like this, which is called Japanese style, where you just sit back on your heels. And then depending on how you're feeling, how your week has been, if you're feeling really tired and you'd like more energy, you can place your hands facing upwards. Or if you've had like a chaotic week and you want a little bit more grounding, allow your hands to rest on your knees, palms facing down. And then let your shoulders move away from your ears. Allow your eyes to close. And let your jaw get nice and heavy. Allow the skin on your forehead to become soft. Maybe tuck your chin ever so slightly in towards your chest. And then drop your awareness into your breath. So seeing how your breath is this afternoon. And then we're going to consciously change our breathing so that we're doing 3-part breath. Taking one normal breath in, seeing how your belly expands, and a deep breath out. And this time, as you breathe in, notice your belly filling up with air. And as you exhale, your belly goes back down as the air is pushed back out. Inhale, belly rises, and exhale, belly falls. And one more time like that. Inhale into the belly, and exhale back out through the nose. And now we're going to extend that breath. So inhaling into the belly first, and then up into your ribs, so feeling your ribs expand as well. And then exhaling from your ribs first, and then back down to the belly. Inhale, belly, and ribs. Exhale, ribs, and belly. One more like that. Inhale into your belly, and your ribs, bringing that into the third part. Inhale into your belly, ribs, and right up into your chest. Exhale from your chest, then your ribs, then your belly. Inhale, belly, ribs, chest. Exhale, chest, ribs, belly. Inhale, belly, ribs, chest. Exhale, chest, ribs, belly. And take a couple more rounds yourself. This type of breathing is called three-part breath or sectional breathing. So it's consciously being aware of which part of our body is affected by our breath. So a lot of us tend to only use about 10% of our lung capacity. And when that happens, we tend to be running off stagnant or stale air. But this three-part breath really floods your whole body with fresh oxygen. So good for your circulation, so good for your central nervous system. And it also calms the body down. It turns on what's called your parasympathetic nervous system, which is the opposite of that flight or fight kind of syndrome where you're panicky or you're worried. When you switch on your parasympathetic nervous system, you activate part of your nervous system called your vagus nerve. And that tells your body that you're safe. So it allows you to feel that sense of groundedness and safety, which we all need extra at the moment. So the next time you release that three-part breath, coming back to a normal breath. Just a normal, deep, slow breath in through the nose and out through your nose. And then if it feels good, I'm a big fan of setting an intention. And all that is, you're telling your body and you're telling your mind what you want more of. So you're inviting in a feeling. So what way would you like to feel today and for the rest of the weekend? Would you like more peace or calm or gratitude or joy, love, forgiveness? Whatever it is that you desire more of, set an intention now. Focus on that feeling. How does it feel in your body? Okay, so even if you're not feeling joyful or you're not feeling peace right now, you've experienced it before and you know what it feels like. So concentrate on that feeling. Allow it to flood your whole body and invite more of that feeling into your day and into your weekend. And then when you're ready, you can open your eyes, just stay sitting. And we're going to do a few warm-ups. So, bringing your hands out to the side, stretch as wide as you can if you have the space. As you inhale, bring your hands slowly, gently up to touch. And then as you exhale, bring them back down towards your chest, this opening into your chest. Inhale. Arms out to the side, feeling that stretch in your shoulders. And slowly bringing your hands down to the center of your heart. One more time like that. Inhale to stretch your arms open. And this time when you get to the top, pause there. Keeping your shoulders tracking away from your ears, stretching up through your fingers. And then take one more breath in here. And as you exhale, you're going to twist to the right. Okay, so bring your left hand to your knee, right hand behind you like a kickstand, and you're going to inhale, just lengthen up through your spine. And then as you exhale, you can gently twist your body from the base. So you're not craning your neck here. You don't want to twist your neck too much to begin with. Just gently looking over your back shoulder. Inhale to lengthen. And exhale to twist. And keep your hand on your knee. And as you inhale, stretch through your right hand up to the ceiling, and then take a little side body twist. So you're really pushing into your sit bones here to ground you, feeling that stretch through your shoulder, through your side body. If it's comfortable in your neck, you can look up or you can look to the ground. And then bring your hand across your body to sit on the opposite knee. So it's like you're making an X with your hands. Then bring the backs of your hands either to touch like this. That might be as far as you get. No problem, you're not really warmed up yet anyway. Or if you can and you'd like to try, you can see, can you bring both palms to touch? So it's like you're crossing your hands here. And then inhale, open up through your chest, look up to the ceiling, and bring your hands up with you. As you exhale, tucking back in, making yourself small, like a little hedgehog, bringing your elbows in towards your chest. Inhale to open up, and exhale to tuck back in. And one more time like that. It's like a seated version of cat-cow, so you're warming up into your spine as well. And then slowly unravel your arms. Inhale to sweep your arms back up. And this time we're going to the left. So bring your hand across to your left knee. And your hand behind you like a kickstand, pushing into your back hand, just at the base of your back. And inhale to lengthen up through your spine. Exhale, twisting from the center of your body. And then gently looking over your back shoulder. Inhale. And exhale. One more, just like that. And as you exhale, sweep that back hand up to the ceiling and across to the side. So you're using your right hand on your knee to push down, seat bones pressing into the ground, and stretching up through your side body. Gaze up to the palm of your hand or down to the mat. And then glide that hand across to the opposite knee, so you're making an X here. And again, this side might be different to the other. You might have more or less flexibility, so doing whatever feels good in your body today. Inhale to open your chest up. Exhale to tuck back in. And two more just like that. So I had a yoga teacher, one of my very first yoga teachers, and she used to say, you're as young as your spine is flexible. And these kind of poses really help to open up your spine, especially when we're sitting in front of a laptop all day. And then unravel your arms slowly and make your way into all fours. So all fours is also called tabletop position. So your wrists under your shoulders, your knees are under your hips. And as you inhale, let your belly drop towards the mat, open up through your chest and look up towards the ceiling in cow pose. And as you exhale, round into your spine, pushing into your hands, arch your back and tuck your chin like an angry cat. Inhale, belly drops, chest is open, look up. Exhale, round through your spine. And take about 2 more rounds, just like that. And whenever you're finished that round, bringing your spine back to neutral, you're going to tuck your toes under, walk your hands a little bit in front, and then bring your seat back towards your heels. Now, this version here, with the hands walked out in front, is called puppy dog pose. Okay, we're going to come back into that in a second. But anytime that you want to break during yoga, you come into child's pose, which is to let your feet become untucked. Bring your forehead towards the mat, and then you can either walk your hands back to wrap around your body, or you can leave your hands straight out in front if you just in a relaxed position. So you come back to that anytime you need a break. So for now, back into all fours. Walk your hands a little bit closer to the top of the mat, and we'll come down into puppy dog pose. Now this is quite a strong stretch to begin with, so we're not going to go all the way down. You're just going to hover so that you can feel that in your shoulders. Just for one more breath there. And then come back into tabletop, tuck your toes back under, lift your knees off the mat, and we'll come into our first downward facing dog. So downward facing dog is your upside down V shape. And you're kind of eventually working towards bringing your heels towards the mat. They don't have to touch, but the main thing here is to have a straight spine. So if you want to keep your knees bent, absolutely fine. And it's your first downward facing dog, so we're going to walk the dog. So bend into one knee as you straighten the opposite leg and switch over a few times. Glance up at your hands, make sure your fingers are stretched apart and you're pushing into your thumb and your index finger. Really nice. Then drop your knees back down to the mat. Inhale, let your belly drop and your chest open. Exhale, round your spine, bring your seat back towards your heel, coming into child's pose. One breath here. And exhale. Inhale to come forward. Walk your hands a little bit further towards the top of your mat. And then drop down into puppy dog pose. So in puppy dog pose, you're bringing your forehead towards the mat. It doesn't have to touch. And if you're really, really open, you can try bringing your chin to the mat. And that can feel quite strong in your shoulders, so just go as far as feels good. Then inhale, walk your hands back under your shoulders, coming into tabletop. Tuck your toes under, lift your knees and make your way back into downward facing dog. 3 breaths here. Inhale. Exhale, 1. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Last one. Inhale. And exhale through the mouth. Then look forward between your hands and slowly walk your feet to the top of the mat, coming into a ragdoll pose. So you're still in your forward fold. Let your head hang heavy. Look between your legs and then maybe grab your opposite elbows and very gently sway side to side. Really nice. And your head is the heaviest part of your body, so letting that relax and pull you deeper into your forward fold. Then let go of your elbows, bring your hands to your shins, and as you inhale, you come into a half lift or flat back. So hands on your shins, chest open, looking forward. Exhale, drop back down into a forward fold. 2 more like that. Inhale, hands to shins, flat back, chest open. Exhale, in and down. And 1 more time, just like that. And dropping your head up and down actually affects the brain chemistry and helps us to feel really calm. Inhale, sweep your arms out to the side if you have the space. If not, you can bring them forward and up to touch. Very gently bring your hands down to your heart center. We take 2 rounds of sun salutation A here. So inhale, bring your hands up to the sides to touch. Exhale, hinging at your hips, come forward into a forward fold. Really nice. Drop your hands to your shins. Inhale up into a half lift. Chest open. Exhale, fold back in and down. Let your head hang heavy. Inhale, root into your feet. Sweep your arms up to the side above your head to touch very gently. And exhale, bring your hands back to heart center. So that whole sequence is called sun salutation A. We'll do it again. Inhale, sweep your arms up to touch. Exhale, forward fold. So hinging at the hips. Let your head hang heavy. Inhale, hands to shins. Flat back, halfway lift. Exhale, in and down. Inhale, sweep your arms up above your head to touch. And exhale, bring them back down to heart center. We're going to vary that slightly now. So inhale, hands up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, bring your hands to your shins, flat back, halfway lift. And this time, plant your hands in front of your feet, step your right foot back. So you're coming into kind of like a runner's lunge here. Take a moment here to just pivot back and forth, maybe side to side, opening into your hips. I always think this feels so nice first thing. And then plant your hands into the mat or the towel, and then step your left foot back. So you're coming into a plank pose. So in plank, you're pushing through your hands, kind of rounding through your upper back. So you don't want to drop here, you're really pushing nice and straight. Then drop your knees to the mat. And then as you exhale, you're dropping your whole chest and chin down to the mat. That's it. So your whole body now, your tummy's on the mat. Then as you inhale, you're going to come up into cobra pose. So what that means is you're keeping the lower half of your body rooted into the mat, and it's just your chest that's open. You can feel that opening through your spine. Now it's not a push-up, so you want to make sure that you're not using your hands too much. You're actually using your spine here to lift you. You can float your hands for a second off the mat. Then pushing back into your hands, bring your hips towards your heel. And then tuck your toes under, lift back up into downward facing dog. And we'll take 3 breaths here. Inhale. Exhale for 1. Inhale. Exhale for 2. Last one. And this is so good for your circulation. Anytime your head is below your heart, it's really good for your breath and your circulation. Then bend into your knees, and you have a choice here. You can step to the front of the mat, or you can gently hop. So you're coming into your forward fold again. Then inhale, bring your hands to your shins, flat back. Exhale, fold in and down. Inhale, sweep your arms up, gently to touch. So you don't clap your hands together, you just gently touch them. Exhale, bring your hands down to heart center. We're going to repeat that on the other side. So inhale, hands up to touch. Exhale, fold in and down. Inhale to a half lift, hands on your shins. Exhale, this time plant your hands on the mat, step your left foot back. So you're coming into runner's lunge on the opposite side. So this time again, tilting forwards and backwards. Maybe side to side, opening up into those hips. And then pressing into your hands, spreading out your fingers, step back into a plank. So again, pushing really strongly through your fingers there into your plank. Hold your plank for 1 more breath. And as you exhale, gently drop your knees towards the mat. Then your chest and your chin. So you're coming to lie down on the mat with your hands just under your shoulders. Untuck your toes. As you inhale, come up into your cobra pose. So thinking like a snake. Your legs are stuck together and you're really pressing into your legs, using your spine to gently lift. Exhale, push into your hands, bring your seat back to your heels. Tuck your toes under, come back into downward facing dog. Again, we take 3 breaths here. And as you're in downward facing dog, glance up to your hands and make sure that your fingers are spread really far apart. You're pressing into your index finger and your thumb, especially to prevent any wrist damage. And 1 more breath there. And then again, step to the front of the mat. So bending into your knees, you can step. I'm going to demo the hop this time. Okay, so that we're going to bend into your knees and gently hop to the front. Either way, you're ending up in your forward fold, just like last time. Inhale, hands to shins, half lift. Exhale, fold in and down. Inhale, sweep your hands up to the side. above your head. Exhale, hands to heart center. We're going to do that again, but a little bit faster so that we get a flow. Okay, so inhale, hands up. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step your right leg back, sorry. And then left foot back into plank. Take one breath in here in plank. Exhale, drop your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhale, push into palms of your hands to come up into cobra, feet stuck together like a snake. Exhale, bring your seat to your heels, tuck your toes under, make your way back into downward facing dog. 3 breaths here. Then bending into your knees, look forward between your hands, step or hop to the front of your mat, coming into your forward fold. Inhale, hands to shins, half lift. Exhale, fold back into your knees. Inhale, sweep your arms up above your head to touch. Exhale, hands to heart center, same thing left side. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold in and down. Inhale, half lift, back straight. Exhale, plant your hands, step your left foot back, then your right to come into a plank. Inhale in plank. Exhale, drop your knees first, then your chest and your chin. Inhale, gently pushing up into your cobra. Exhale, bring your seat towards your heels, tuck your toes, coming back into downward facing dog. 3 more breaths here. I know downward facing dog is quite difficult at the beginning. It feels quite challenging, but I promise you it is a pose that gets easier the more you practice, and eventually it almost becomes like a resting pose and you feel like you can hang out upside down all day long. Then bend into your knees, glance forward, step or hop to the front of your mat. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold back in and down. Inhale, sweep your arms up above your head. Exhale, hands to heart center. Another little variation on that. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold in and down. Inhale, halfway lift. Then plant your hands, step your right leg back, just like we did last time, but this time drop your right knee down to the mat. Then tuck your tummy muscles in, and as you inhale, sweep your arms up to your chest. So you're not collapsing here, you're not going to sink like this, that's putting pressure on your lower back, okay? So you're really engaging. Draw your belly bone in. Allow your shoulders to move away from your ears and stretch up through your fingers. Really nice. And then exhale, plant your hands to frame your front foot. And then straighten that front leg as you bring your hips back. Take a moment here to stretch into that left leg. Inhale to bend forward. Exhale, straighten that leg, bringing your hips back. And one more like that. Inhale forward. Exhale back. Then inhale forward. Tuck your back toes, lift your right leg off the mat. Plant your hands next to your left foot. And we're going to come into a pose that sounds scary. It's called standing splits. It's not scary at all. What you're going to do is you're going to hop the back foot to lift it up in the air and then set it beside your left foot. So if you want to watch me do it first, okay? So you're pressing into your left foot, gently lift your back foot up and then step it beside your left foot. Then inhale to a half lift, exhale in and down. Inhale, sweep your hands up to touch. Exhale, hands to heart center, same thing other side. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, fold in and down. Inhale to a half lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step your left foot back. Hold it there for a second. Then drop your left knee down to the mat. Take a moment to engage your tummy muscles, find your balance. Inhale, sweep your arms up, almost as if you're covering your ears. So again, watching that lower back, not collapsing into the pose, keeping it nice and strong, stretching up through your fingers, allowing your shoulders to move away from your ears. And then bring your hands forward to frame your foot. Take an inhale here. And exhale, straighten that right leg, bringing your hips back. Inhale to come forward. Exhale, straighten the front leg. And one more just like that. Inhale. And exhale. And inhale to come forward. Plant your hands to frame your front foot. Tuck your back foot under. And we're going to do the standing splits on this side. So pushing into your right foot. Lift your left leg up. Hold it there for a moment. And then step it beside your right foot. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold in and down. Inhale, sweep your hands up above your head. And exhale, bring your hands to your heart center. Then bring one hand to your heart, one hand to your belly. Close your eyes down, take a breath here. Checking in with your heart. Checking in with your breath. Then with your eyes closed, if you can, bring your weight into your toes, lift your heels off the mat. Wobbling is good. Then set your heels back down, bring your weight into your heels, lift your toes off the mat. And then put your feet back down and open up your eyes. We're going to come into dancer's pose next, which is a balance. Absolutely fine to wobble, to fall, it's all good. So what you do is you bring your left arm out to the side, bend your left leg. So really rooting down into that right foot will help you find your balance. Then grab your left foot from the inside at the ankle. So your left knee is pointing down and you're grabbing your left foot at the ankle. Then inhale, stretch your right arm out in front of you and then kick up that back leg. Now you're probably going to collapse and fall out as well, and that's totally fine. So you just come down as far as you can. It really helps to find a spot on the carpet or on the ground or something that's not moving. That's called your drishti point in yoga. That helps you to balance. And then as you inhale, back up to standing and just let go. We'll do the same on the other side. So rooting into your left foot, bring your right arm out to the side, bend your right leg, grab hold of the inside of your ankle. Pointing your right knee back down to the mat. Inhale to lift up your left arm up to the ceiling. And as you exhale, you're bending forward with your left arm and you're bringing your right leg up. You're just going to hold that for a couple of breaths and you might fall out like me. And then you just laugh at yourself and you get right back in. One more breath here. And then slowly, with as much precision as you can, coming back to center, really nice. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale, fold in and down. Inhale, come to halfway lift. Exhale, step your right foot, then your left foot back into plank. Inhale in plank. Exhale, drop your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhale to come up into cobra. Exhale, drop your seat to your heels. Tuck your toes under and lift back up for one last downward facing dog. Now, next one, this is one of my favorite poses. So you're going to lift your right leg up and this is called three-legged dog. You're going to put your right foot in between your hands and you can take as many goes as you want. So I'm going to show you now. Step your right foot in between your hands. Now if it doesn't go in one go, I'm going to show you what you do. You come as far as you can, you grab that ankle and you place it in between your feet, okay? Pressing down onto your back toes. So your left toes are still tucked under here. Inhale, sweep your arms up. This is called high lunge. And then you're going to open up to the side. So you're going to put your back foot, the sole of your foot on the mat, and you're opening up to the side like this. This is called warrior two. Few things to check here. First, can you check if your knee, the bent knee, is directly over your ankle? It's making a 90-degree angle. Back leg is straight. Arms straight out to the side, and your gaze is over your front middle finger. This is called warrior two pose. Take an inhale here. Exhale, drop your back hand to your back thigh. Inhale, lift that front arm up and back. This is called peaceful warrior. Inhale, back into warrior two. So straight arms, keeping that front knee bent. Bend your front arm, bring the elbow to your knee, and then sweep your left arm across your body so you're making a straight diagonal line. It's called wide angle pose. One more breath there. Then bring your hands down to frame your front foot. So you're pivoting back onto your back toes. Step your right foot back next to the left in downward facing dog. We're going to go straight into the other side, okay? So three-legged dog here. Lift your left leg up and then step it between your hands. So again, you take as many goes as you can. So your foot is between your hands. Then drop your back foot. The sole of your right foot is on the mat. And you're going to swivel. It's almost like you're painting a rainbow in the sky with your hands. So now your left knee is directly above your left ankle and your arms are straight out. Shoulders over your hips. So you're not surfing forward here. You're keeping your upper body stacked right above your lower body. This is called warrior two. Then flip your front palm. Drop your back hand to your thigh. Inhale to lift that left arm up, and you're keeping that bend exactly as it is in the front leg, peaceful warrior. Exhale back into warrior two. Bend your left arm at the elbow and bring it just above your knee. And inhale to sweep your right arm across your body. Wide angle pose. Then pivot on your back toes. Place your hands to frame your front foot. Step back into downward facing dog. Now I know I said that was the last one, sorry. It actually wasn't. We're coming into my absolute favourite pose ever in yoga. It's called pigeon pose. So what you're going to do is lift your right leg up in three-legged dog, bend at the knee, and bring that right knee directly behind your right wrist. So you're bringing it all the way down to the mat. And drop your back leg down. So your back foot and your back leg are resting on the mat. And you can even walk that foot back towards the back of the mat more to give you more space. Look over your shoulder and check that your leg is straight on the mat. And then coming forward, your right knee is behind your right wrist. Come up onto your fingertips, open up through your chest, and then walk your hands forward just as far as you want to come down. This is a really good stretch into your hips. I had a yoga teacher once and she said that we store a lot of emotional trauma and tension in our hips. And when we do these hip openers, we actually release an awful lot of that stress. So it's a little bit like when you're tense, you can feel that in your shoulders. You know, sometimes if you've been holding tension, you can really feel like your shoulders really tight. And we have the same thing in our hips, but with our feelings. So that's why sometimes after you do a yoga class with lots of these hip opening exercises, you just feel like a whole weight has been lifted off your body. It's a wonderful feeling. So if you're really comfortable in pigeon, you can walk your hands all the way off the mat and bring your forehead to the ground, like this. Or you might like to stack your hands. So it's like you're making fists with your hands like this. Put them one on top of the other and rest your forehead on them. That can be a really nice alternative as well if your hips are a little bit tight. And then to come out of pigeon, put the palms of your hands back down on the mat under your shoulders. Walk your hands back a little bit closer. Tuck your back toe under. Lift your left leg off the mat. And we're coming back into downward facing dog to switch sides. So lifting up. If that right leg is a little bit jelly-like, you can give it a little shake, like a dog shaking its leg, and then place your right leg down. Then inhale. Lift your left leg up, behind you in three-legged dog. And as you exhale, bend into that left knee. Bring your left knee behind your left wrist. And then kind of shimmy your back foot back along the mat. So then when you glance over your shoulder, you can see that your leg is nice and straight. Your ankle isn't sickling to one side. Face forward again, chest nice and open. So just to check the front there, your left knee is behind your left wrist. Open up through your chest, and again then just walk your hands out in front of you, coming down just as far as feels comfy. Maybe this side feels a little bit different to the last side. If it doesn't feel good for whatever reason, just coming back out, making your way into child's pose. Or any other pose that feels good. It's your body, so you know what feels good. One more breath there. And then slowly walking your hands back onto your shoulders. Tuck your back toes under, lift your back leg off the mat, and then slowly pressing back into downward facing dog, maybe giving a little wiggle of that leg before setting it back down. Drop your knees down towards the mat, and we're coming into seated pose. So making your way into sitting down any way you like, with your legs straight out in front of you. Then you might move your seat away from your sit bones there, so you can ground down with your sit bones on the mat. It's like you're making a capital L, toes pointing upwards. Nice straight back. Inhale, lengthen up through your fingers, and as you exhale, keep your back nice and straight, and then drop your hands down wherever they land. So it might be on your thighs, it might be your shins. You might be able to grab your toes if you're very flexible, but not forcing, not grasping, just going as far as you can. Keep your back nice and straight, so you're not flopping down here, okay? You're keeping your back straight. This is called Paschimottanasana pose, and it's really soothing. So you might remember the start of class when I was saying about our vagus nerve, our central nervous system, parasympathetic nervous system. This is also a wonderful pose. Any type of forward fold like this is excellent for soothing our nervous system. And very, very slightly, as you inhale, you might lengthen a little bit more. It might be imperceptible to anyone looking. It might only be 1 millimeter. And as you exhale, you relax and sink a little deeper. Slowly come back up to sitting. Keep your left leg straight. Bend your right leg so that your right foot is touching the mat. So the sole of your right foot's on the mat. Then bring the sole of your foot into your inner thigh. So your knees pointing out to the side. And we're going to repeat that on this side. This is called Janushirasana. So inhale to sweep your arms up. Exhale, keeping your back nice and straight, float down. So we don't hold Janushirasana for quite as long, just a couple of breaths here. So again, your hands might be on your thigh, they might be on your calf, maybe you can hold on to your toe or your foot. Inhaling to lengthen ever so slightly. And exhale to release. And then inhale to come back up. Before we swap sides, I want you to take your foot, plant it on the mat, so it's like you're stepping your foot on the mat. Lift the foot across your left leg and step it to the outside of your knee. We're going to come into a twist here. Bring your right hand, just like we did at the start of class, behind your back. And then with your left arm, you can either just hug your leg like this, or you can bring your elbow to the outside of your knee, and that'll hook you a little bit deeper and allow you to twist a little bit more. So inhale to lengthen through your spine and look back over your right shoulder. And exhale to come forward. And then we're going to grab that leg as if it's a baby. So hopefully you can see what I'm doing here. I'm putting the sole of my foot into the crook of my left elbow here. And I'm just cradling, I'll just turn this way so you can see a bit better. I'm cradling my shin, I guess, here, like a baby. Just rocking it gently from side to side. And that also helps to open up through your hips. And then gently place your right leg down. Lift your left foot. Plant your left foot on the ground and then bring it to the inside of your right thigh, coming into Janu Shavasana on this side. So rooting down through your sit bones. Inhale to lengthen up through your spine, nice straight back, and as you exhale, fold in over that straightened leg. And you might find this side is a little bit different to the other, and that's totally normal as well. Our bodies are not symmetrical in terms of our ability to stretch. And then inhale to come slowly back up to center. Step your left foot back. Plant the sole of your foot on the mat and then step it across your right leg. And hold on to your leg with your right arm. Bring your left hand behind your body like a kickstand. So you might repeat what you did on the other side. You're either holding that knee or hooking your elbow across the knee. Inhale to lengthen up through your spine and exhale to gently twist back. And then slowly coming back to center. Bend both feet, both knees I should say. Scoot your bum slightly down the mat and come to lie down with your back on the mat. Bend your knees into your chest and give yourself a nice big hug. You can rock gently side to side here. And our final pose is happy baby pose. So bringing the soles of your feet up as if you were trying to stand on the ceiling. You can hold on to your calves or your thighs, or if you have the flexibility, you can hold on to the outside of your feet, bringing your knees in almost into your armpits. You can stay in stillness like this, or you can rock gently from side to side. You can straighten one leg at a time and bend into the other. Just do whatever feels good in your body today. And then when you're ready, we'll come into Savasana, which is our relaxation pose at the end. So bring your legs down onto the mat. So you're lying down on the mat. If you'd like to put some socks on, or you'd like to grab a jumper or a blanket, now's the time. Make yourself really nice and cozy. It can be nice to put a cushion or a pillow under your knees if you have one handy. That can feel really soothing. And then just come back down to lying down. So in Shavasana pose, your feet fall open to the side like the pages of a book. Arms alongside your body with your palms facing upwards. And let go. Allowing the weight of your body to be fully supported by the earth beneath you. Relax your jaw. Unclench your teeth. Let the skin on your forehead get nice and smooth. Nothing to do and nowhere to be. And then maybe coming back to that intention if you set one at the start of class. Allowing that feeling of peace or calm or love, gratitude or joy, whatever it is that you set, allowing it to flood your body. And we'll stay for about a minute in silence here. You don't need to worry, I'm keeping an eye on the time. So for this minute in silence, connecting with your breath, trying to stay present. And if thoughts do come into your head, acknowledge them gently and then let them go. And then when you're ready, you can wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. If it feels good in your body, stretch your arms behind you, taking a full body stretch. And then rolling over to whichever side feels comfortable for you. Take a moment here in fetal pose. So with your knees bent towards you, use your arm as a little pillow. Take another breath here. And then keeping your eyes closed if you can, gently push yourself back up to sitting. Just like at the beginning of class, maybe sitting cross-legged. Bring your hands together at your heart center. And from my home to your home today, thank you for joining me. I wish you a peaceful and happy weekend. We always finish our yoga class by bowing down and saying Namaste, which means light in me honors the light in each and every one of you.